To jest gitara. Look at this, skurwysynu. Pozdrawiam. O kurwa, 4 osoby. Pozdro dla Krzycha, twojego kolegi.
12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless...
My mother had a beautiful, soothing voice.
War. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is war but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Death pending.
Death. Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed to be God's punishment, a righteous snare to keep mankind from a They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
My sweet brother. What have you done?
Mary! Oh, no. Mary! Hold on. Please, hold on. Oh, God. Oh, no. Mary. No, no. This horror. It's a nightmare. No! Please, a moment, let me explain! These patrols are after me.
It's on to us!
No! No! Don't shoot! This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here. This can't be happening. No! Please! Stop! I mean you no harm. What's going on? Oh, Mary. What have I done? What's all this about? Now, I can defend myself.
Kill that thing!
Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice. Who are you? Stupid beast! Sorry.
See them fancy clothes?
No,
This
please,
one's a
stop!
top. Doesn't like fire, does it?
Who are you?
There's one of them vermin.
What do you want? I mean you no harm. I need help.
Die, you fucking leech!
Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this.
Shut up, beast!
Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name?
I'll do the rest of the job.
Just leave me. The sun feels like it's burning me to the bone. I need to find somewhere to hide.
Right now!
Let me go! I need to find shelter.
Co ty, chłopie? Nie mogę nikogo na razie ugryźć. Chłop się dopiero obudził, zanim został wampirem. Wiesz co chodzi?
Place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here.
Brother, what have you done?
Mary! Mary! Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
Odnajdę go i ugryzę, skurwysyna. Dobrze. Szylingi. W Polsce nie masz takich szylingów. No, bez kitu. Dramaturgia.
Wait. This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve.
That's impossible.
Niemożliwe. Dobra, idziemy na górę. Spokojnie, też się nie mogłem na początku przekonać do tej gry, ale z czasem jest kurwa koks ta gra. Wszystkie wybrane jakby tutaj decyzje wpływają na los w późniejszym czasie.
Who goes there? Who's there? Are you referring to me? No! No! I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
Jak dostanę donate'a 200 zł. Wtedy może.
We need to leave. And now! There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live.
And now what?
We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing. No, it never got easy.
No. Używany rewolwer. . No kurwa, ile to jest czytania. Nie chce mi się tego czytać nawet. Wkrótce do ciebie dołączę. Okej. Good, good. Idziemy, Lulu.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it.
Co ty pojebie robisz? Jesteś wampirem jebanym. Jesteś nieśmiertelny.
Rational thinking only.
Klimatyczna muzyczka i klimat fajny, ciemny Londyn. Wiesz co chodzi, byczku? O, patrz, ty żyjesz. Kto by się kurwa tego spodziewał?
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is, as mad as the moon, contains blood in sunlight into a glowing flesh.
Nóżka w kresie pozwala nam ci odpocząć, ewoluować, użyj punktu doświadczenia, aby podnieść poziom i lepszy swoją umiejętności wampira. Dobra. Autofagia. Tracisz punkty krwi, by natychmiast uleczyć normalne i wzmocnione obrażenia. To bierzmy to. Mamy drugi level. Weźmy sobie pazurki może jeszcze. 1000. A, akurat mam 1000. I cyk, trzeci level. Jestem kozakiem. Nie wybierz potwierdź zmiany. Potwierdź.
Voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
O, wampirze zmysły. O ty kurwo, wydupcaj stąd.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
O, ogień, słońce. Dobra, zjemy stąd bilet.
Here's the leech. Here!
O, skurwesyn. Jestem cieniem.
My head's spinning.
Chodźcie w dupę.
Come out, you coward!
It's locked.
It's locked. Jestem jebaną bestią. Czaisz bazę? Byczku? Wiesz co jest 5? Kurwa, czemu tu nic nie ma? Bo cię najebę. O, coś jest. Używany kołek. Nie mogę go usprawnić, ale mogę to chyba sobie założyć. Owszem. Kołeczkiem tarabiję Essa.
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End. Go back home.
O kurwa.
Die, vermin!
I cyk, gryziemy skurwysyna. O, mu wyjebałem. Kurwa mać. Jo pierdolę. Chociaż chłop. O fuck. Czy jak to się dzieje? Jakoś jednym przyciskiem chyba, nie? To? I pijemy krew. Skurwysyna.
This shouldn't be possible.
I pijemy. Już go dobijemy normalnie, żeby nie tracić tutaj krwi. Bo i tak gram kurwa na hardzie. Nic z nich nie wypada. Jeszcze jeden jest. O kurwa. Co on mi odjebał? Ty dziwko, gruba, kurwo. Chuj ci w łeb. Z niego coś wypadło.
My reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
No beczku, nie jesteś już człowiekiem. Czy tu jest coś ciekawego? Chyba nic tutaj ciekawego nie ma. Southwark Bridge. Status dzielnicy stabilny. Chujowo, ale stabilnie, jak to się mówi. O, mogę jako cień się przemieszczać. Ale beka. Król i krajcie potrzeba do armii. Pomożesz naszym odważnym chłopcom na froncie. To są? Co?
My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us.
Kurwa, bierz go. Krwi się napijesz.
I have this thirst for blood.
Jestem spragniony krwi. No widać, widać. A, to się ulecza, dobra.
It's locked, all right.
A tutaj.
I cannot enter.
Ale pizda z dziobem jest. O, znowu będzie cień.
The dizziness from the jump. I can...
Czytywanie. Byku.
control it.
Teraz tu wejść mam, czy jak?
It's locked.
Zamknięte. Może tutaj
It's locked, all right.
też zamknięte. Krwi potrzebuję.
Despicable.
Despicable. Opierdol szczurka. Dobra, gituwa.
What will London have to say to me?
Ciekawe, co powie Londyn. Oj, jakość połączenia się
So
psuje.
many questions unanswered.
Czyli tędy wejdę, czy nie wejdę?
I cannot enter.
Kurwa, wszystko pozamykane jest. Co za gówno. Czy coś jest? Tu nic nie ma. Dock Limehouse.
Another corpse. Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum?
Chłopa, co zabili.
man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it.
No, bez kitu z tym fejmem.
I follow
Jak się kawusi
the
napije, co?
trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
A może nie chcę. Albo chuj. Dobrze.
Fresh blood.
Świeża krew, świeża krew. Co to jest?
Something dire must have come about.
Musiało wydać się coś strasznego. No zapewne.
Where has everyone gone?
Ale nie mogę się teleportować teraz jako mgła. Ta na fejmę mówisz, że będę walczył? No nie wydaje mi się. Mogę się napierdalać z boczkiem. Dajcie mi go, tą kurwę ulaną. Najebie go jak psa. Okej. Zobaczcie mi walkę z tą pokraką. Go rozjebie. Tutaj zamknę. Chata Rufusa Kingsbury'skiego. Do Climb House. Ale do tej chaty ja go nie mogę wejść. Jest jakieś takie miejsce, ale nie mogę tam wejść. Tam nie mogę się tepnąć. W ogóle nie mogę używać teraz tego chmury. Gdzie potrzebuję? Aha, kraj w sensie, dobra. Dobra, kontaktuj się jutro z agentem frajera i się walimy na 9. W takim razie. Gdzie mam kurwa iść? No to jest jakiś drzwi.
Nobody at home.
Nie możesz tu wejść. Nikogo nie ma? Chyba nie. W sumie pokazałoby mi chyba takie czerwone te, że komuś bije serce. Czy coś w tym stylu. W tej dzielnicy dostępna jest nowa kryjówka. Sprawdź, czy możesz ją odnaleźć na mapie. Tam są coś ludzie w ogóle. A dobrze, co tu się świeci. No to plakat. Dobra, gdzie jest to? Tu jest kryjówka gdzieś. Jakaś kryjówka? Gdzie? To? O no, rzeczywiście. Znalazłeś nową kryjówkę, możesz tu odpocząć i wydać punkty doświadczenia albo stworzyć coś na stole warsztatowym. Okej. To jest ten stół? O, tu coś było. Uzupełniać coś mogę. Okej. Coś mogę robić tutaj? Nie mam rzeczy do robienia. Czy to mogę ulepszyć? No, potrzebuję fragment zwyczajnego uchwytu i ołowianą płytkę. O, z tego mogę coś zrobić. Może teraz będę mógł sobie ulepszyć. Nie. Tak, wiem, że jestem kozakiem totalnym. Dobra, nic nie mogę tu zrobić. Mam 500 doświadczenia tylko, więc się nie położę spać. Dobra, ale ważne, że odblokowana kryjowa jest. Nie wiem, tam na razie nie idę. Podążaj tropem zabójcy. Czyli muszę wejść do środka.
At last, a little life.
Nieco życia. 3 osoby do pogadania. Dobra, na końcu zbarwany, bo zawsze ma najwięcej do powiedzenia.
Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay. First the epidemic, and now all these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found
Pozdrawiam.
in the streets every morning,
Michała.
drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog. What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah, killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
Okej.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one.
Dać. Bo mam ketchup na koszuli. Dobra, to na końcu. Teraz ten co chleje.
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
No ja patrzę się na telefonie i nie mam lagów, więc nie wiem, może u ciebie coś. Byku.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bot, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure
Ja nie
no
mam
one has
lagów,
come
nie
in
wiem co
here in the
tam.
last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
What's going on around here?
Nie mam
It's like
lagów,
everybody
nie
is
wiem,
hiding.
coś widziałem Many.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Psia kanalia? Co to kurwa jest?
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make
to
it
miałem
sound like it's a
chwilowe
fairy
jakieś
tale.
lagi może.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
Zamknij pizda. Bo z tobą wyjdę na
I'll
fejma.
leave you to your bottle then.
Będę się cię zabić.
Oh, God, sir. You look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
Ciekawe dlaczego.
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
No, słabe czasy. Nie ma co. Długa noc.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Morderstwa, wskazówki.
Tell
Morderstwa,
me more
zapytajmy.
about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
Szanowany lokal, kurwa, otwarty w środku nocy. Jest pewnie z druga po trzecia. A coś pierdoli. Tu w ogóle są ślady. Czyli tu. Jakby typ siedział przy tym stoliku i wykurwił stąd nagle, wiesz co chodzi. Na górę nie prowadzą te ślady. No dobrze.
This is no place for you. KRWIIIIIII has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Will you, sir? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
No ty kurwo.
I mean, you
Księdzu
know,
jebany.
say it, the vampire. Present yourself. I need a word with anyone.
Ale na kurwia ten krzyżem jebany pedofil.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
Przez kit, czy taki wąsik, kurwa, jak pedofil ma. Nieznany.
And who might you be?
Najpierw ty.
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
Co to za brat?
And what exactly is
Księdzego.
this brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Z kim rozmawiam?
I heard another voice, that of a woman.
Jakąś
Who were you
dziwką.
talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
Powiedz, co wiesz?
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
Nie jestem pewien.
Perhaps. This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what I'm looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
Wyrucham go.
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
Kurwa, 5 widzów, co tu się odpierdala? Zostawcie łapkę w górę. Dodajcie jakiś, kurwa... Co księdza? Co księdza? To jest ksiądz chyba. A nie, to nie jest ksiądz. Łapka w górę, good, good. Kurwa, i spierdolił ktoś. I odupia. Ktoś tu był.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight.
No.
Someone
I
must
hope I live
know
long enough to
something.
see them wet boot boys get what's coming to them.
Hello, sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Poor Jack.
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please, tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes. His face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
No gościu fame rośnie, kurwa, bo FIFA nie gram, wiesz co chodzi.
They used to be good mates. But recently, Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
Tom Watts. Udało ci się odkryć wskazówki ujawniona tajemnica, o którym z mieszkańców lub jego bliskich, aby otworzyć menu. Cyk. Tom Watts. Tom i William Bishop byli niegdyś dobrymi przyjaciółmi. Okej. Porozmawiamy z tym Tomem.
Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Who is he?
William? Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. Can barely stand up most of the time.
Szczeka, ale nie gryzie, mówisz. Dlaczego miał kłamać?
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Ty kurwa. Będziesz mnie kłamał.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What do you expect?
Siedzi tylko taki kurwa.
Bastard with a bad rash and torn
Siedzą
old
takie
clothes.
kurwa gnoja i tylko mówią dymy.
Strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
To psycha siada wam kurwa, psychaści, skurwysynem. Siadała kurwa psycha. Drocia. Jak robiliśmy kurwę w czterech. Mrówko jada. Ta siedzę. Mrówko. Jako starego. Wyjdźmy z kurwa. Mokrego kalosza? Co kurwa? Co ty Aha, już dziwka nie chce z nią gadać. To chuj ci w łeb. Dobra, to chodźmy.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me? To this city?
To this city. W tym mieście. Zbadaj łódź. Oho.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood.
Kociołek będzie za 300. 300 złotych. Sprawdź łódź.
Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker.
To był ten bishop?
What's this? Some sort of note.
Wskażę dla stróż w Priven. No, to Giema Kolam do patrola z doków.
These men, they're a company of This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim.
Czyli kurwa wampir.
This man was armed. He tried to defend himself.
To ten William Bishop był?
There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Cyk. O, stróże. Stróże Priven. Nie wiem kurwa w którą stronę mam iść w zasadzie. A, dobra, już wiem. Wszystko wiadomo, wszystko jasne. Stróż jeden. Spróbuję go po cichu. I upierdolimy go. Tylko jeden był? Nieźle. Naboje.
Good.
Zajebiście. Co nieźle po cichu. Najebecie za... O kurwa. Myślałem, że on będzie przemierzał czy coś.
It's locked.
Please, sir. Can't let you through.
Co fruty, kurwa. Cyk, ugryzionka w skurwysyna. Jezu. Dziwko. Dobra, idźmy teraz zabić tam tych skurwieli. I idziemy za śladami krwi dalej. Dobra, są właśnie w tą stronę. Eszel 3, aby zauważyć otaczających cię przeciwników. Zobaczyć karty wrogów. Okej. Przeciwnicy są bardziej odporni na pewien rodzaj obrażeń. Nie wiem, czy to różne typy odporności fizyczne. Atak w zwarciu, dystansowy, na specjalną moce krew cień. Kolor pomarańczowy wskazuje na średnią odporność, kolor czerwony wskazuje na wysoką odporność. Czyli odporni nie są na krew i na cień, z tego co widzę. Tu jest jeden typek, jest kolejny. Cyk, skurwysyna, dryjemy. Ciach, ciach, ciach. Kurwa. Jest. Ty kurwa, nie strzelaj do mnie. Strzelaj do Polaka. Tam ktoś jeszcze jest, ale chyba nie widział, że zabiłem jego kolegę. Mam rakituwa. Od tego też mogę zabrać? Mogę. Dobra. No kurwa, tu ich chyba 3 jest. Kurwa. Chciałem po cichu podejść, ale się nie. Kurwa, udało. Oj chuj. Ej kurwa, miałem się napić krwi. Dobra, syk. Jak najdłużej. Długo będzie raczej. Aż mi się znudzi. Póki co... O kurwa! Póki co nie znudziło mi się jeszcze. Kurwa. Dobrze byli. Mocni zawodnicy. Nowe praktyki, nowe taktyki. Ciach, ciach, ciach. Dobra. Lecimy dalej. Do góry się mogę tepnąć. Sprawdzać rzeczy. Lupara. To jest chyba pistolet. Aha. Okej. Sprawdźmy. Gierki z widzami. W co ty kurwa chcesz grać? Jakimiś widzami. Ja tu hajs na dzieciaczkach robię, tylko wiesz co chodzi. Czy co? Kochani widzowie? Ja wiem kiedy gierki z widzami. Nie ma w co grać za bardzo z tymi widzami. Pobierzesz Call of Duty, to będziemy grać w Call of Duty. Na playu oczywiście. Wiesz co, dziś byczku. Co ty, czy ty kurwa coś... O, szczury. Jakie szoty? Jak zrobisz szoty, to będą. Dobra, chodźmy do kryjówki. Weźmy ewoluujemy się przy okazji. Tak jak tam jest napisane i może będę mógł coś zrobić fajnego. No co ty? Nie wiem, o co ci chodzi. Gościu. Chuja coś robisz. No cyk, możemy usprawnić i pyk, essa. No, mogę jakieś te stworzyć sobie? No więc nie mogę. Dobra, to zewoluujmy się chociaż. Co to jest? Kurwa, 1000 aż na to. Na to. 1000 też. Gryzienie. Może zdrowie sobie ulepszę chociaż. Zostało mi 400 jeszcze. O, zdrowie jeszcze raz. Bo nie wiecie co? Sprawność fizyczna. Pykens. Dobra, 100. XP mi zostało. Potwierdź. W życiu żadnego dziecka na hajs nie zrobiłem. Ja jestem dobrym, tutaj wiesz, obywatelem Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej. Pospolitej Polskiej obojga narodów, wiesz co chodzi. Chyba się zrespili na nowo, bo kolejna noc jest. Dobra, tędy mogę wejść.
It's locked, all right.
Nie z tej strony.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Co to? Używana kosa. Używana kosa. 99. No to biorę kosę. Wiadomka.
I cannot enter.
Did not quench my thirst. I must have more. Oh dear God, not again. William, please stop. Just a sip, I promise. You're my last and dearest
This
friend.
place reeks of bloodshed.
Kurwa.
William, my arm. I can't feel it.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
O ty kurwo dzika. Pany skurwysynu. Wydupiaj ode mnie. Ej, kurwa. Ła, śmieciu jebany. Nie gryź mnie. Czy ty kurwa nawet jak wampir nie wyglądasz? Kurwa, stąd te grają z bossa muszę się napierdalać. Jezu. Kurwa mać. A dobra. Chyba już wiem. Zróbmy inaczej. Bo jeżeli mam... Aha, czyli tak nie mogę. Dobra, no to weźmy tak. Druga ręka weźmy tak. Jak chłop mi pierdolny. Ja pierdolę. Ła, nie bij mnie. Dobra, kurwa. Ale fuks. Mnie chłop zabił. To 65. No nie chcę dwuręcznej, bo jest chujowa. Chujowo mi się walczy dwuręczną. 58. No to zakładamy właśnie to. Cyk. Zajebiście. Spróbujemy może coś znaleźć tutaj.
It's locked, all right.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul,
Hispanic
a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray
Chłopie,
without me.
odwróć się. Co to za
Remember,
cipka?
certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
O kurwa. Rozjebała tego skala i całe spierdoliła. Intrygująca kobieta,
By
ruda.
George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
Ciekawe, jak ty się chcesz tego dowiedzieć. Ale dobrze. To jest ten William?
This poor creature can't be by
Próbka
me.
krwi.
Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Okej. Wbijajmy się. Co, zdupcamy już, czy o co tu chodzi?
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea.
I am the administrator of
Skoro
Pembroke
bronie
Hospital.
palne są, no to
I thought
musi
you were
być
here in service of your
prostytucja.
mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes.
I są młodzie
First
jeszcze,
and
kurwa, na
foremost,
silniki.
I'm a man of science.
To na jakieś
A
te
physician,
piece.
like yourself.
No to jest
Dr.
20
Reed.
chyba, wiecie.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, A surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes.
No, przydałoby się.
What do you say?
Do ubrania.
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Wczytywanku. Ciekawie.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane. I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Wyjebał jej, kurwa, jakiegoś
Oh,
typa.
and Dorothy.
Księdza pedofila.
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. I'm coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Edgar Swansea, tak? Ale kurwa, ma garniak zajebisty. Tutaj mam iść.
I cannot enter.
I cannot enter. Czy do góry? O chuj, pójdziemy tutaj. Oj chuj. Zabił kogoś.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Bastard gave me a good poke. Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Jakość krwi. Jakość krwi danego mieszkańca wskazuje to, ile PD na nim zyskasz. Im wyższa jakość krwi, tym więcej PD otrzymasz. Aby napić się krwi ofiarę, musisz się najpierw zahipnotyzować i zabrać w ustronne miejsce. Ale jeden.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Jeśli aby wystać krew Claya Coxa lub pójść go wolno. Jeśli postanowisz zabić go przez wyssanie jego krew znacząco podniesie liczbę posiadanych przez ciebie PD, musisz jednak liczyć się z konsekwencjami tego czynu. Poznaj mieszkańców i zbieraj wskazówki, aby zdobyć jak najwięcej doświadczenia. Nie no, nie będziemy go zabijać, bo 500 PD to jest nic przecież.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
What happened?
Aha, co już kurwa nie chcesz gadać? No za skurwiel. Dobra, chodźmy stąd.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Dzięki za radę, skurwysynu. Dobra, lecimy. Wejdź do szpitala Pembroke. Chodźmy zatem. Co są coś ludzie?
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Okay.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Okej. Jakby z niej wysać krew, 2000 punktów doświadczenia. Drogo mnie chodź, no, pogadajmy tutaj ze wszystkimi.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you,
Coś
sir.
chyba kurwa
I'm
dziwnie się
Nurse
ustawili.
Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Goodbye.
Się inaczej ustawia.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Osobiste pytania. Wskazówek musimy tworzyć w Londynie.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Okay. Dobra.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
The patients are not fools. They know we are overwhelmed by this horrifying epidemic.
O, tu coś jest. Szklana fiolka. Porozmawiajmy z tym skurwielem teraz.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett's, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Okay.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
What can you tell?
Some are
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor...
Your attitude is irresponsible, Doctor. Believe me, I've seen so many medical errors caused by exhaustion during the war.
You're right. This is a war, Dr. Reed. And I don't intend to surrender.
To jest pierdolnięty. Dobra, osobiste pytania jakieś mam? Nie mam nic. Coś tu jeszcze mam? Też nic mam.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Dobra. Kogo mamy tu jeszcze? Tu coś może? Nie. Tutaj czysto. Corcoran Tippett. Nie ma już nikogo na dworze? Czy aby na pewno? Dobra. A tu ktoś idzie. Kolejna pielęgniarka.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Osobiste pytania jakieś mam? Nie mam.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Okej, będę pamiętał. Jakby na sytuację tak dawno się...
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
I don't like your attitude, Nurse Hawkins. Pessimism can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, Nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Okay.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Tu był jeszcze jakiś jeden typek. Ktoś tu kurwa wszedł. To ten czarnuch chyba. To.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice,
Pokaż mi
Dr.
swoje towary. Strzelba Miltona. O kurwa. Dobra, dobra. Tak, ja mam 35 shillingów chyba, tak? Tak to się nazywa. Które niezbyt mi się tutaj przydadzą. Dobra, pogadajmy.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doc.
Twoje osobiste pytanie może? Życie w Londynie. Skąd twoje
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything. And it's getting worse every day.
Na pewno fucking awful, to jest dupa tam.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Okay.
Goodbye, Milton.
No, teraz możemy wejść w sumie.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal...
Co ty pierdolisz, nawiedzona kurwa.
If you must know, I'm a vampire.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Dzika kurwa.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul. Or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
No tak.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood. Only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Ty kurwa dzika. Pogadać tutaj. Z tą gadałem.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Ty kurwa śmieciu.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
To ci rozjebie. Czaisz?
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Ty brudasie jebany. Cię pierdolną, to by zdech.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Demo, kto cię zapierdala. Tu masz czerwone gały.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Terrific Rain. Ty kim jesteś?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll...
Always need words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, London idiot.
Stąd coś mogę sobie wziąć. Crane.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Osobiste pytanie. Więc twoje życie w Londynie.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Okay.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Z tą szmatą nie mogę pogadać.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Okej. O, kolejny typek do sprawdzenia.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work.
Oto się kurwa
We're
drze.
not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Nowe śledztwo.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Okay.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Kurwa, lepiej jakby był najebany ten
Goodbye,
typ.
Dr.
Strickland, dobra. Tam jest jakiś nieznany czarnuch. Pardon.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Śledztwo przeprowadzą?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have
looking for the missing? Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
To ciekawe.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Milton?
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Pewnie spadł, kurwa, kamień z serca. Też nie.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Okay.
Do you need medical attention?
I'm feeling all right, Doctor. But perhaps it is because I, too, am used to the smell of the dead.
Okay. Jeszcze jakieś tutaj pytania? Nie wiem.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana. It's locked.
It's locked.
The dead seem peaceful and loving.
I cannot enter.
Leży ktoś tam. Dziwka trochę. Coś no, jeszcze ludzie.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Goodbye for now, Mr.